Fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that this one will be the last part of this epic round table video. God damn, we have talked some crap.
It's never going to end.
It's literally never going to end. If you're here now, you're locked onto this vid now. Believe it or not, we've only got 5 more matches to talk about. But knowing the way that this night has gone so far, it might take a while to talk about.
We'd like to finish off with another 5 hours of talking.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's be honest. It's like 5 minutes of each of these talking, and then the rest of it's just been me talking bollocks. But hey, I loved UBW and still do. So should we get it out of the way? So we were talking about Recoil, and with Swinny coming back, we decided to do like we have one of those promos that we did when we had one Recoil. One of those promos where it's just bam, 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 bam. So basically, I come out with Sir Arthur Hayes and I start cutting a promo. Swinny comes out and utters the best 2 words ever uttered in UBW, which was "Listen, Hayes."
Listen, Hayes.
Exactly. I mean, I mentioned this before, yeah. If I ever say to someone, "Listen," I don't just say "Listen, you." I say "Listen, Hayes." People who have never watched UBW have heard those 2 words in that accent. Swinny gives me a damn good kicking in the face. And then we introduce our new general manager, Craig Wilkes. We introduced Wilkes because he's a friend of Peter's, and basically we felt that me doing the GM and Champagne and doing the commentary all at the same time was just Mark P overload, to be honest. A lot of people always thought, UBW was Mark P's fed. Yeah, and it's like, it's a vehicle to promote Mark P, and I didn't like that stigma attached to it, to be honest. At the end of the day, I know I did a lot for the Fed, but it was never my Fed, it was a group Fed. Yeah. That needs to be said. Basically, Danny attacks. Danny comes out and basically says, someone needs to teach you some respect, and that basically sets up Swinny versus Danny. A match that was meant to happen. It needs to be pointed out. That match was meant to happen at Doomsday, the second UBW show. Swinny turned up that day, and he didn't look a very good colour. He was properly green. And it was one of those, this match isn't going to happen. Basically, we tape a match at Doomsday, and then we're to Swinny like, "Are you feeling alright yet?" And you'd look at him like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen today, is it?" Because he was so ill.
Dude, the fact that he even showed up was a fucking testament.
Absolutely, he was
to
really
Swinny because he was green.
Yeah. There was this.
Anytime I looked at you, you were just you were more keeled over in this sort of position, just sort of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This was the first Recoil that only ever had 1 match on it. The thing was, it was a fucking good one. It was a good match. Danny teamed up with Mr. Insano to take on Swinnbad and K-Bar. Now, first things first, I had a quite magnificent storyline in my mind for Swinnbad and K-Bar. They would form a group. Basically, going into 2011, Swinny would get revenge on every loss that he would have. So he lost to me, he lost to Danny, he lost to Magnum, he lost to a lot of you. To be fair, I'm sorry, dude, you lost to a lot of people. But my storyline when I got the book was right. Swinny's going to basically go through each person, getting revenge, and then lastly beating Danny Ace for the championship. That was my genius storyline with K-Bar as his new partner in crime. And get this, because I've never told people about this one before, Mr. Insano as their bodyguard. Which why the match that happened at Addiction. Remember, it's Swinnbad versus K-Bar, and Insano interferes. That match was to set up those 3. Insano nixed it, basically, said he didn't want anything to do with it. So that's why that storyline never went anywhere. And of course, UBW folded before we could do anything about it. But yeah, like I say, this match was the start of that push. He was going to go against Danny and lose, but that would just make him more and more pissed off. So seeing as you 2 were in that match, tell me about it, because I fucking adore that match.
I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I didn't get the hot. I got the hot tag.
You got the hot tag.
That was fun.
Because that's the thing. Insano got his ass whooped. It was a classic tag team match. The 2 heels, Swinnbad, K-Bar, fast tags. Would only spend like 30 seconds in the ring. Would do a move and then would tag out again. Insano got the living shit kicked out of him to beg. Gets the hot tag to you, and you do what you do. And fucking
the Ace just no sells everything. Basically wandering about the ring, just going.
I remember Pete hitting a jaw-dropping spear on Swinny.
Oh, he ripped you in half.
And he just got flying.
I remember that.
God damn, that was amazing.
Best spear in UBW history.
It was amazing.
I was going for like a leg scissors on you. I'm going to drop the knee on your leg.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking come out of nowhere and just speed beat. And then I
Sort
think,
of look up and point.
and I think, fucking hell, he knocked the fucking wind out of me with this move. He did like, you know, like what I did to him at Domination with the Eliminator move. Like he tried to do like a leg kick, but he caught me right in the fucking stomach.
Oh.
He just completely just knocked the wind out of me.
And
if
you
you
were
watch
still
the video
selling
and
the
you go back
ribs.
and watch the match, I would just, this is right to the ribs again. He still weren't properly healed.
Those
But, he actually knocked the shit out of me. And if you watch the video and watch back, I'm just leather cabbage on floor for like 5 minutes. While everyone else is just
in your
scrapping.
ribs, they're just mortal enemies, aren't they?
He just couldn't get his leg high enough. And I completely just wasn't ready. I was just, honestly, I just wasn't expecting to do that. And he just did it. And he just fucking, he caught me off guard and just knocked the shit out of me.
It was good though. It looked good.
Good start.
Match went 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
And I was like blown up.
and at one point, because I've been told the match was going to go about 10 minutes, so I'm on camera, I'm trying to be sort of holding the camera at arm's length, and Swinny's waiting for the tag from K-Bar, and I'm like, shouldn't you have ended it by now? And he's like, I'm waiting for this fucking spot to go down so we can end it.
But after I was winded, I was like fucking, I was fucked. And K-Bar kept tagging me in. And he kept doing these quick tags and I kept tagging out, and I was like, I need a fucking rest. I need to recover from this move. And he kept tagging me back in, and
That was a really fun match though.
It was a great match to watch.
Fun
Very
being.
fun match.
All four of you
being.
really, gave it your absolute. The thing is, because we only had the one match on that Recoil, it had to be a really good match, and it was like we expected a good match, and we got a really good match.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end of the day, because of the finish, Swinney attacks Danny with the title belt,
at long
tags
last.
in, gets the win, gets the pinfall victory over Danny Ace. You're meant to be having those two fighting off each other against Relentless. You've got a reason for these two fighting. At the end of the day, it shows weakness on Danny's part, I think. It's like, well, what I mean is like, Danny's vulnerable. You know that he can be beaten, because like, at the end of the day, Danny hadn't lost a match for quite a while at that point.
Yeah.
Danny had won on his last 3 free-per-view appearances. No, I'm sorry, I'm talking bollocks there. His last 4, because he beat you on the tables match. So 4 straight pay-per-views.
Nobody wants to know.
So, that led into Relentless, and in my opinion, my humble opinion, best show that UBW ever put on.
Yep.
Because there wasn't a bad match on the card. You can watch that whole card, every single match. The 4 matches that are on it are quite amazing, if I'm honest.
And then all the storyline built up.
Yeah. So, first match was, I'd done a promo on Recoil, because we knew that, with K-Bar being in the Fed, we knew that other SNW wrestlers would be coming into the Fed. So what I did, I went out and cut a promo where I basically challenged any SNW that wasn't K-Bar or Gugu, or yes, they're the same person. So that meant that it was going to be someone else. It was going to be someone else, but I didn't know who. That was the whole point of the story. So I fought Crusher J. Now, of course, the backstory behind this one is basically, or not the backstory, but the insider scoop, shall we say? Ooh, scoop. It's a good word, isn't it? Scoop.
Could I have a slice of insider scoop?
Basically,
Ignored.
Yeah, absolutely ignored. I was just like,
No sell.
What you're saying?
No
sell.
Mark and his epic no sell.
I told Josh, who plays Crusher J, this is your match.
That is nothing.
You also told him, I know sell.
That's what the J stands for.
Yes, Crusher Josh.
I don't know what I thought it was.
I told Josh before the match, this is a couple of times actually, this is your match. I want you to come out of this match looking like $1 million, because I know that you're going to be getting quite a push in UBW. So,
In my hometown.
basically, Crusher called the entire match apart from one spot. And that's the spot where Crusher J DDTs me on the chair, which busts me open. And I've still got the chair, at least I think I have, or have you got the chair of death nowadays? But anyway, wherever the chair of death, you might have, I thought I might have left it at your house after that.
Maybe you did.
Anyway, wherever the chair is
I
these
bought
days.
Can we have a DX sign?
You did buy that chair, the chair of death. The one that killed Dave and Dave. Anyway, I got DDT onto that chair, which I called, like
It's
I
all my
say.
fault.
And there's a fucking massive dent in that chair. That chair was never dented apart from when my face bounced off it. and I go down on my side, yeah, and I'm like this, and the only person I can see in the crowd is Jonny Magnum, and Jonny Magnum just sort of does this and goes, oh shit. And I'm like, what? And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, not again, because for the second month in a row, I'm legitimately busted open in one of those, oh, for fuck's sake. Didn't even want to bleed in that match. I wasn't going to use fake blood or nothing. So yeah. Oh, and of course, that match, alright, in my opinion, it's one of the best matches I'm in. Yeah, completely overshadowed by the fact on commentary I call Crusher J's moonsault a shooting star press. You laughing? Because one of those classic things where I absolutely
You said it
fucked up.
twice, or like proper putting it over.
I really marked out like, oh my god, a shooting star press, like a standing shooting star press, and literally the show goes online, yeah. Not even 5 seconds later, this guy's put a comment saying, it's a moonsault, don't you? I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! I can't be asked to re-edit the match and do the commentary again, because I don't like doing that. Once I've done the commentary, it's locked off, and I'm not interested in doing it again, So it was one of those, shit. Did anyone else like my match? Not trying to earn brownie points or anything, but I'd like your opinion on it.
Did anybody like it?
I enjoyed it. Really good match.
Please, did anybody like it?
Shut up, Dave.
Not just because obviously
Quite
the first time I'd seen Crusher J fight full stop.
Yeah.
I was pretty blown away by what he was capable of. But I think the thing I like about Crusher J is he doesn't fight against bigger men as if he's a small guy.
Yeah.
And it always feels competitive, not because he. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, what I was about to say is
Like he's at the heart of a lion.
Yeah.
the thing about Crusher is he gets something that this guy in our Prove It and Retribution matches had failed to do, which is Crusher gave me shitloads of offense. For example, when I've got Crusher in a headlock and he says, whip me as hard as you can into the ladder, it's like, alright, and watch this, and I whipped him as hard as I fucking could into the ladder, and it makes me look like such a badass. But he called apart from the DDT, he called and carried the entire fucking match. So big props to you, Crusher J. You're awesome.
Surprise as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing no one had seen him before, and he didn't know who was going to come.
Yeah,
dude.
From SNW it was going to be.
From when I first saw Crusher, I was sort of like, this guy's pretty cool. Not heard anything about him before.
Were you not an SNW fan? Did you ever watch the show?
I hadn't even heard of SNW before they actually started coming.
Can I just interrupt? Did any of you watch SNW? You'd watched SNW. Did you see any of that?
I think I'd seen some.
No,
I can't remember it. But yeah.
But like,
I knew he was something special.
like, I'd never actually seen him before that point, so I was like, oh, okay. What's this guy capable of? Looks pretty cool. Yeah, want that? And then he put on that fucking match with you. I'm like, dude, I need to have a fucking match with this guy.
One of my dream matches is Extreme Day.
It's like, dude, this guy, he looks so fucking easy to work with.
He was.
So crisp.
Yeah,
so
he just takes every single move so fucking perfectly. It's like, if he can make you look awesome, what the fuck will he make me look like?
No, that's a fair point. I know that you are a much better wrestler than me by a country mile. I've said before, weapon shots and shortcuts to my route.
That was a bit mean, wasn't it?
No, he's fully right.
I don't mean that in a fucking mean way or anything.
No,
I don't mean that in a mean way.
Honestly,
I'm just saying, like,
It's a bit mean.
No, it's not. I don't think it is at all. We saw in the later months, later on, when Crusher J took on K-Bar, for example, at Redemption, a 5-star match, absolute class. I know people that I trained with. When I went to wrestling training, did that match that we saw at Addiction, which no Addiction, was a Redemption, Crusher J versus K-Bar. I sent them that match and said, look, this is what my Fed's all about, and they were like, Jesus Christ, that was a good match. Psychology and storytelling, and just perfection. Like you say,
all together, like
exactly.
I
was in ring, just for pure wrestling. I believe that's the best match I was ever in.
There wasn't
by
any
country mile.
bit.
there was no awkward transition. It was always just spot. Well, you could put it like this: spot, 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 spot.
Can you imagine
it wasn't
Dave
actually
sort of
spot.
never runs out of ideas,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's always. He's same as what we said about Magnum. He's really adaptable. if something arises in a match that confronts him, he's straight away got a solution. You know.
See, I was thinking like, 5 minutes for the match go by, and basically the Crusher J have been kicking the shit out of me, no problem with that at all. When he says to me, hit me with the hardest pain game that you can, I'm like, listen, this is your match. If you want me to do that, what does he do? I hit the best pain game I ever did. He fucking bounced. And it made me look so good. It looked, the second spot of the match, after the ladder bump, it made me look like such a badass. I was like, when you watch it back, you're like, Champagne was never this good. You're like, wow. And like you say, that was me just establishing Crusher J. After that, we wanted to, because that was my own, whole intention was, I'm going to make Crusher J look like a fucking badass in this. I'm going to bump like a motherfucker for him.
And you did.
And I did. And it was
you proper put him over.
I put him over as
It
best.
was a hell of a statement.
I gave him my everything. I gave everything I could give to him.
I don't think I've seen anyone that young so good.
Yeah, he is awesome. If he doesn't turn pro, then it's a fucking loss to the fucking British wrestling community, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Next, we've talked about my match for far too long. K-Bar, Mr. Insano, 2 out of 3 falls match. Any opinions on this one before I give mine?
I thought it was a cracking match, personally.
Okay.
I honestly do. It was up there as with at least sort of in the top 2 best matches I've seen in Insano in.
Yeah.
And I always enjoy watching K-Bar.
K-Bar brought the best out of Insano.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if you guys know this, or if you guys know this, or you people watching this, but in the real world, K-Bar and Peter are best friends. They are so close. So they've got that ability, like me and Danny have got, and me and did you not? And me and Max have got. Whereas we trust each other implicitly, and you can call a spot and know that they're going to take it whether whether they like it or not. Sort of thing. They are best mates in the real world.
Yeah, but you see that plays to their advantage, because you can see in this match that shit starts going down, but they still trust each other.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's like it looks fucking violent, and you think to yourself, oh shitty fuck, this is some violent shit that's going down. But if you're like backstage and stuff like that, you can think to yourself, no, it's cool because they're still not really hurting themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what really pissed me off, because people are all like, oh, Pete and K-Bar, they had the sickest brainbuster spot ever, and it was just like, it was too violent, it's like, fuck off.
And then like people lied and said, oh, that give him what did it say? Like,
yeah, apparently it broke K-Bar's spine.
Yeah. People said
The last
time
time I saw K-Bar, K-Bar was still walking about.
Yeah, people said that brain
He wasn't
a
injured
stinger.
at all.
It's like bollocks. That's a load of shit.
He wasn't injured at all.
It's like,
And there's been times where he's like, I might have looked like he took a bump on the head from him, but he didn't hurt us.
No.
It's never intended to hurt anybody.
The fact still
Just
remains.
accidents happen sometimes.
The fact still remains that K-Bar felt safe taking that from Mr. Insano.
Exactly.
And, that made the match better, because they had that trust.
Absolutely.
They had that trust, so they could build upon it, and, they could do the spots that they did in that match.
Oh, yeah,
which
completely.
made it a better match. And I really think that helped elevate K-Bar and
I think both
Insano's
of them,
gimmick.
Both of
Yeah.
them.
If I can just ask Dave, because you guys talk about if you're friends with someone, you can trust them and everything. My first day, my debut, my first match was against you. Now I'd seen you wrestle before, but you'd never even met me. So what was that like for you?
Wrestling you for the first time.
Not just me, but like anyone who you've never actually seen
the
wrestle.
first time?
Yeah.
Well, let's think about it this way. The first time that I ever came into backyard wrestling, the first time that I was ever in backyard wrestling, was at Prove It.
Yep.
Right? So I'm going up against
Really?
Matt Pearson, who has got, like,
The whole
he's got his
CRCW.
CRCW and whatnot, and then you've got Pete, who's got all his backyard shenanigans and whatnot.
Yep.
I'm the guy that, nobody's ever fucking seen. And let's face it, I've not done anything. Up until that point, I've not actually thought to myself, yeah, I could do this as a living. But from that point, I thought to myself, right, this is what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
So I've sort of focused myself, and I sort of thought to myself, right, this is what I want to do with my life. I'm going to take it, I'm going to go forward with it. So I'm going forward with it, and throughout all of UBW, I'm just thinking to myself, right, okay, I'm going to carry on, I'm going to keep on meeting up with my mates and whatnot, I'm going to keep on having good matches and whatnot, and then I meet Danny. And Danny was the guy who really fucking started to tip me off, because up until that point...
Thanks, man.
Up until that point, though, I was a douchebag, and I was a complete wanker in UBW.
You said it, sir.
And then you came along and gave me somebody that I could definitively hate and loathe, and I could really get behind with the anger and whatnot.
I know.
You know, it's just sort of like, you know, I can take this match and I can think to myself, yeah, that's where it all fucking started with you and me, because it was just so easy to work with you.
Oh, thanks, man. Same, actually. But yeah, it's like... I just...
See the fucking promo I was talking about, the gay promo? Listen to them.
Because you, like I said...
This guy smashed the guitar over my face. I don't talk about him like that. I don't say, oh yeah...
That's because you didn't have a 5-star match with him.
Oh, I think I just got owned again.
Sweep the leg!
Sweep the leg.
Speaking of 5-star matches, shall we move on?
Ah, yes, I think we should.
As we say, Insano versus K-Bar, good match. I can't just throw my little 2 cents in. I know I talk about a lot. I talked a lot on these vids.
It's your bed.
It's a 15-minute long match, Insano versus K-Bar.
Yeah,
it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. My issue, and it's a good match, I'm not knocking either competitor. The first 2 falls come in the first 5 minutes, and then you've got the third fall is 10 minutes long. I feel it's too long, and the finish is shite. Because basically, Insano goes to the top of the ladder, yeah, and goes to do a splash on K-Bar. K-Bar rolls out of the way. Insano, crashes to the ground. If K-Bar had then rolled him over and pinned him, not a problem. But K-Bar drags him into the middle of the ring and then pinned him. And my problem in that is that I think it makes Mr. Insano look weak. Personally, if he has to drag, it reminds me about Booker T versus Triple H at WrestleMania 19. Yeah,
weak.
Triple H pedigrees Booker T and then takes an absolute age to pin it to cover him. Yeah, and Booker T still stays down. It's that sort of thing. It makes Insano look weak. He should have kicked out and they should have carried on the match for another couple of minutes, in my opinion. But that's just me. I would have liked to have seen that match go a bit longer.
So there was other spots, weren't there, before that were more brutal?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's like you should build up.
The finish wasn't. The finish was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it?
No, you see, you can always say to yourself, "Oh yeah, the finish was a bit of a letdown and whatnot," but you don't. You can't just think of the finish. You need to think about everything that's gone on in the match before. You know.
Exactly.
So, like, you know, K-Bar's taken all this punishment, Insano's taken all this punishment, you know, and that it only takes 3 seconds, and then you're done.
And it is a bit of a surprise, I suppose, if you're watching it.
I mean, by the by, I didn't have any problem with the pacing of the falls as such. I didn't mind that there was 2 really early on. I think it actually made that last 10 minutes more exciting because I don't know, it's almost. I know it almost threw away stipulation of a 2 out of 3 falls because it becomes like almost a normal match. But with it being the 2 out of 3 falls, they've each got one. I enjoyed that element.
So you get down to the crucial fall quite quick.
I suppose you've got a very good point.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. Maybe I've never looked at the match that way.
It's because we're probably so used to seeing the structure that they normally play out.
Yeah. That's a very good point as well.
Another thing as well, that Pete, I think he's the guy who's responsible for bringing in these SNW guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Full credit to Pete.
Credit for that.
Full credit to Pete for fucking bringing in every single one of the members of, like, the TBW and SNW.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Pete and Magnum brought in. Oh, and you're probably as well, because you travelled to TBW first before TBW ever became in UBW.
Yeah.
You went up to there.
Was it a 3-way match or something like that?
I can't remember, I'm afraid.
I had a couple of tag matches and a couple of single matches. I think I had 4
You're
matches.
such a
altogether.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe 5.
It's
all fun.
Potentially 100 people are going to see you doing shit like that.
Drop a lighter.
So embarrassed. Boo and hiss.
That's like seeing Bjork drop a
I
tip.
already seen him doing
Everyone's going to think
terrible
of a
referee.
wanker apart from Styles, to be honest.
Sure.
Let's put it this way, that's like seeing Mel Gibson punch his girlfriend.
A hater told me the other day that he thinks you look like George the Animal Steel. And
then
the thing is, right, when I replied, because it was a troll, I just thought, right, I'm just going to reply and just sort of, I put ha ha ha. Actually, he does look like George the Animal Steel. So you know what the hater put? Actually, he doesn't look like George the Animal Steel. He looks like King Kong Bundy.
Oh, I'm going to have to start wearing a singlet
Next, ladies and gentlemen, 2 more matches to go, and both of them were classics. Both of them were classic matches. For the final time, and I really hope that one day these two fight each other again, and I tell you something, I will willingly pay to see them in a ring, happily, willingly. If you charge me 20 quid, I will pay to see this match. Extreme Dave versus Jonny Magnum, to end the feud, I tell you something, in my opinion, of the 4 matches that you guys had, this was the best.
Agreed.
This match was superb. From bell to bell, this match was perfect. You two did sort of brutal stuff to each other. You pinched each other's finishers, which was amazing. Magnum hit the Magnumizer on the chair, which was just unbelievably sick. It was one of those ones. Dave, I've got to ask you, because me and Danny fought each other. Retribution. We fought each other for the 3rd time, and I've got to be honest, we were running out of spot ideas. We said to each other after Retribution we shouldn't fight each other for a while because, like I say, we're out of ideas. This was the 4th straight month you fought Magnum. Was it hard to come up with ideas for this match? No,
it wasn't. Mainly because Magnum, like we've said throughout this entire video, Magnum was so easy to work with. Yeah, and it's like. You can.
Oh, I got chopped. Woo! I was not expecting. Woo! I should chop you back, but I'm not going to chop her. Carry on, please.
Yeah. Working with Magnum was so easy. Like, you could sit on MSN. Like, this is basically all I ever did when I was working up matches with Magnum. I would basically sit on MSN 2 to 3 hours, just chatting to Magnum. Just basically thinking of spot ideas.
Yeah.
Just reeling them out, one after the other. One after the other, one after the other. And then we'd come up with something that would be a finisher. And we'd be like, now hang on a second. we need to manipulate this. So we'd take that sort of finish and we'd develop it so it'd become a little bit grander. And then we'd sort of work a match around it, and it's like, okay, well, we've got another match out of this. That's fair enough. Let's put that one out, and then we'll sort of, if we need to, we'll have this to throw out and whatnot. And just like every single time that me and Jonny ever faced, we always had something that we could fall back on.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Not that I'm saying like, oh, you know, we needed to fall back on something. It's just sort of like we were having fun with each other. Yeah. Every single match that involves me and Jonny.
Yeah.
Like, me and him were having fun.
Yeah,
I was having the greatest time of my fucking life. Yeah. And I like to think that Jonny was having the fucking time of his life. Simply because that was the most awesome time ever. You know? Just like being able to go on MSN or something like that and just think, right, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Shut up, Bundy.
That's what it is. It's like you have from working with each other. You have like all the spots that you know what you can do with each other.
Yeah.
And then you have your ending and your other stuff. Like you're always different in your matches.
See, that's what sort of happened with like me and Danny, because me and Danny were sort of like forced together, right? And we sort of like had to. Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Burning hammer into the chair, what the fuck?
Why would you even think of doing such a silly spot?
Well, we were thinking to do these spots, right? And it was sort of like, we'd take some of them, and we'd do them, and then we'd sort of like take the rest of them and sort of save them for another time. Like that suplex on the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really actually think about that until the actual spot where we were thinking like, oh, okay, let's do that suplex spot that you were thinking about. Alright, fair enough. Boom, onto the chair. Oh, that was a bad idea.
Something that I think is important if you're going to have like a long feud is you have to have chemistry with the person.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You and Jonny have a fuckload of chemistry, which is important.
That's something that I was thinking before, is that I was scheduled to face off against Liam Styles at Domination. Yeah, that was originally the book match, and I was going to pin Liam Styles. And one of the things I was
Hang game.
I was so not looking forward to that match. I really was just I thought me and Liam, we barely.
See, I never had that problem. I never had that problem. If ever I was wrestling Danny, if ever I was wrestling Jonny, I always thought to myself, right, I've got a match against Danny, or I've got a match against Magnum.
What about this guy at Doomsday?
Why do you think though that you didn't feel that with Liam, or was it?
I just felt like
it's not from the wrestling.
No, the thing is,
you have a good wrestling match with it.
Basically, it was like this: is that on MSN, me and Liam had a lot of good conversations, but in the real world, when we met up for the tapings,
no psychology.
I was going to say because we're both shy people, and like, I need to know, like the people that you see here, people on YouTube, these guys are my, my best online friends, whereas Liam Styles, at the end of the day, I always saw him as he's Johnny's mate. He never said a word to me at the tapings. He never talked to Lisa at tapings. I don't think he ever talked to you at tapings. He was Johnny's friend. He never, like you say, he never came out of his shell. Whereas I'm very shy, but I would make an effort to talk to people. You'll be able to tell this. At the Salvation taping, Danny had sent me a message saying, I want to be part of UBW. I don't think we said 5 words to each other at the Salvation taping, did we?
No.
Because I'm such a shy guy. This guy's one of my best friends now. It's like that. Me and Liam, we just had such opposite personalities that I just thought, if we have a match, I just don't think it's ever going to be very good. I don't think we'll have chemistry. I don't think I trust you. It was all that. And that's not me saying that, I'm not like this guy. I don't think Liam Styles is a bad person. I just think our personalities
I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's
You called him a cretin on the last round table.
I just think he's a tit. It's more to do with like character and like not character of his wrestling. It's just his character and the way he talks to people and the way he thinks of his own importance. And
Let's put it this way. If you get one wrestler who thinks to themselves, yeah, I'm fucking awesome, I'm gonna annihilate everything, and then you get another wrestler who's sort of like,
yeah,
you're gonna have a bad match.
Oh wait, hang on.
And then when you get somebody, say, sort of like, I don't know, Extreme Dave, who sort of like just wanders up to, I don't know, let's say somebody like Johnny Magnum, and they sort of have like 4 or 5 great matches on the fly, and it's not like, we're awesome.
Yeah. I've got to say, I love that match. The match with Relentless was, like I say, they fought 4 times, they put on 3 cracking matches, and then it's like, how's this sound for an analogy? Yeah, it's like imagine a car. You've got 5 gears in your gearbox, and each match went to a next gear. And then just when you think after the KO match, you sat there thinking to yourself, how can they better that? And then you go to Relentless. You watch Relentless, and like after the match, you're like, that was fucking incredible.
I always like to think that my feud with Johnny Magnum, as much as I enjoy my feud with Danny Ace, as much as I enjoy my feud with you, I always thought that my feud with Johnny Magnum was my best.
And this is, like I say, the benefit of hindsight. If I'd have remembered to take the belt to Domination, Johnny would have beaten me for the title championship and would have gone on to face one of either Swinney or Danny for the title. Your feud would never have happened. So it's one of those things that, alright, I was a tit for forgetting the belt. I got the belt for another month, but it's one of those things that in hindsight you look back at it and you're like, well, actually that worked out fully for the best, didn't it?
It's not all about the belt either, is it?
No.
It's about, we put on some solid shows, what we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a testament to how well we sort of plan things and we're able to incorporate whatever happened and just make the best of it.
Well, it's like I said before, when Swinney no-showed, which at the end of the day was a bad thing, we turned it into a good thing. We turned it into that I, as Sir Arthur Hayes, suspended Swinney. So when Swinney came back, he was full of anger, full of rage. He was pissed off with everyone. He hit Sir Arthur Hayes in the face, and then he demanded a title shot straight away. Danny Ace comes out and goes, look, someone needs to teach you a fucking lesson, and I'm going to be that guy. There's your fucking title shot. That it's the type of thing that, in my opinion, everything in UBW, even when something went wrong, we managed to slot it in, make it into a storyline, and UBW continued as if nothing had happened.
Exactly.
And that was good. Like I say, that match, Magnum versus Dave, was amazing. But then, if you can believe such a thing, after the show had just built and built and built and built, Swinney, Danny Ace managed to top everything that we'd done all year by putting on what was voted by the UBW fans by a country mile as the match of the year. By a fucking
was.
And it was. I mean, UBW was known for its hardcore. We've talked about that tonight. We were hardcore fair. We had no rules. We had no problem with hitting each other with weapons. Swinny, Danny, Ace, they put on a technical masterpiece. Guys, the court's yours. Talk about that match.
Well, it was my best match. Yeah. Don't know about you. But
I don't know,
How
I
much
just
of that-
really enjoyed it.
How much of that match was planned?
I was a bit. I didn't know how it was going to go going into it because we didn't really plan much
we had
or
the finish
anything.
planned, and the finish was planned about 5 minutes before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of those classic on-the-spot moments sort of thing.
Yeah, I was like apprehensive to working, you know, our styles combining and making it work for the best, and how we were going to do it. But you just, you know, anyone who spoke to me about the match just said good things about it.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything negative about it.
Just flow well, and it just went from one good thing to another, and it kept building, and then we talked, with the finish, which was just the cherry on the cake.
You hear me you hear me. I was filming that match at the time. You hear me marking out like a bandit that whole
Dude,
match.
you hear the whole fucking crowd marking
Yeah,
out
the
like a
whole
bandit.
crowd. Though.
Let's not fucking split hairs here. As soon as Swinny came off that ladder, every single person that was watching that match was marking out like a bad boy.
What I'll say is, as well as a great match, and it was from bell to bell, the best match UBW ever did, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the things that Swinny so much respect out of me, not just because how awesome he wrestled, but how you healed it up. You were the bad guy in that match. You were such a bad guy in that match. From the moment he walks to the ring, you see when he walks to the ring, he's strutting. He's got like a swagger to him. He turns to the camera and does sort of like, I'm going to fucking win this match. This is all about me. From then on, he is an absolute heel. He exemplifies what a heel's about. And then he gets to the point in the match where it's almost like Swinny realises, shit, I'm losing this one. Danny's starting to get the better of me. I need to do something quick. I need to do something healing. So he fucking takes off his weightlifter's belt and whacks the shit out of Danny with it. In one of those, there's only like 3 or 4 weapon shots in it, but every single one is there for a reason. It's not just, I'm just going to hit you for a trade because I feel like it. Every weapon shot you see, so like I say, Swinny hits Danny with the belt, so Danny snaps and starts throwing Swinny back, throws him into the ladders, and then hits him with the belt himself. It's one of those matches that is just perfect. It's just
Really is.
fucking
We
perfect.
talk about the weapon use, but
It was a good mix.
the ground-based work.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he
Dude, you had so much psychology in your match.
he twisted the human body is not supposed to bend in that way.
Yep.
And I was feeling that for the next couple of weeks, but it was all good.
Well, I think one of the things. I'm sorry. I want you to talk about your match. Obviously, I'm talking now strictly from a fan's point of view, someone who's watched this match a lot because, like I say, it's my favourite match. You both get equal amounts of offense in. You both do some brutal things to each other.
But DDT,
where Swinny takes it on the back of his neck. It's just like, geez, you're watching you. Oh,
Black Hole Slam.
Black Hole Slam. I want to
love
flash
that.
you, Danny. Is that right? And I've watched wrestling, like I say, all my life. I have never seen a figure 4 ankle lock before. Where the fuck did that come from?
I know. I mean, he was out wrestling me on the ground.
Yeah,
And I thought,
that-
okay, I got to pull something out, because I was supposed to be the guy who came up with all these weird, wacky submissions.
Which you, so far up until that point in your career, you have.
Yeah, and then you get in the ring with him, and it's like, oh shit, I've got to do something good.
Yeah.
So I was going to go for an ankle lock anyway. Then I thought, okay, please I'll let I go over figure four ankle lock, and it just worked. It's just
It's
I
just-
pushed it to a next level, or like stepped it up a bit, or like thought of something new.
Yeah.
And like,
Recently, there's a lot of talk going around about UBW starting up again. I put a message on Facebook saying, if you're a UBW fan, tell me what your dream card would be. But incidentally, just if anyone's asking, this is mine, I put this match, that match. But the main event is this guy versus this guy again, because I would pay to see these two fight again. Yeah. In a ring, can you imagine these two in a ring? Because there was high fight. For example, the domination match, we talked about it before, we saw Swinney do a moonsault off a chair.
Yeah.
You imagine these guys with ropes and turnbuckles. These two would just put on the... They'd put on a match that you would pay to see, I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
And I really hope I'm not overhyping it again, but I tell you, with you both here, I would pay to see you wrestle again. Willingly.
thanks,
I
man.
mean,
Yeah, thanks.
I'm not only talking as someone who was part of UBW, but also like you just said it as a fan, you know, I think that match is the most perfect representation of how we would want people to view us as a company.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
our wrestling. It's absolutely perfect.
Because at the end of the day, all backyard feds, whether you're a little one, whether you're a big one, they've got the stigma attached. When wrestling was massive during the Attitude Era, well, it seemed, especially in America, that kids were going out there and just doing the stupidest stuff to each other in the name of hardcore, doing buried alive matches and all shit like that. Whereas UBW, one of the things we always said is we wanted to do was be a technical fed. And that match was the peak for technical wrestling. Like we said, there was weapon use, but it was there for a reason. But the most of it was ground based. You were sat there as a fan. Like, it's exactly the same as what we said before, wasn't it? People like me and you who are not technical wrestlers, we would watch that just going, I wish I could do that.
Yes,
I would do anything to be able to wrestle like that. I always hoped that Champagne would be hardcore but technical at the same time, and I was always a hardcore wrestler. You were the same. We relied on the shortcuts. We wished so badly that we could be technical wrestlers. And like I said, if you watch the footage, you see me, I'm filming it, I'm watching this down a camera lens going, this is perfection. And that finish! Oh my god, how much is that mark out central? Swinny goes for a crossbody, Danny catches him, turns it into an FU for the win, and you're just like, that was perfect. That was the perfect way to end this amazing show, because Relentless was awesome. From top to bottom, for every minute of it. Literally, if people talk to me and they talk about wrestling, and I say, oh yeah, I used to wrestle, I used to do backyard wrestling, they're like, oh yeah, did you? I was like, yeah, I used to wrestle for this UBW fed. If I have to direct anyone to any show that we did, it's always Relentless. It's always, from top to bottom, the show was perfect. There isn't a bad thing on it. And bear in mind that I'm my biggest critic. There are matches like the Domination match that I refuse to watch because I'm just embarrassed to even say that I'm a wrestler. My match was good. Insano's match was good. And let's be fair, this isn't a diss to Peter in any way. I promise. I know me and Peter have had our history in the past and dissing each other, but Peter, he wrestled his heart out against K-Bar. Extreme Dave versus Jonny Magnum was fucking brilliant, and then to top it with that, the thing is, right, on any other show, am I right in saying this, gentlemen? On any other show, right, any of the 3 matches that went on before that main event could have main evented the show. Me versus Crusher J could have been a main event, happily. Insano versus K-Bar, 2 out of 3 falls match, that could have been a main event, right? Extreme Dave, Jonny Magnum, the last match in their epic series, the one feud of the year, that could have main evented any show, but these two went out and put on such an incredible match to top that show. Relentless, ladies and gentlemen.
See, that was the problem with UBW.
What's that?
We always every single show that we did, we always thought to ourselves, how can we outdo the Saints?
Exactly.
How can we outdo the last show that we did? And eventually, it became the worst of us.
Well, that's the thing. The fans expected. I always felt that once Relentless had come and gone, we'd got such a fan base by that point. We had people, we were getting like 200 views a show, which, I know isn't a lot compared to the Salvation got 20,000 views. Because it was on my YouTube channel, I was a partner and I had that influence that I could get a lot of people to watch it. 200 people would watch per part. Between our website and my Daily Motion account, our average view count was about 1,400 views per show. So we still had a sizable fan base, but it wasn't a massive fan base. You know what I mean?
I always say that Relentless was, up till that point from the end of BBW, it sort of went up and up and up, and then Relentless was the peak.
Yeah,
and then unfortunately afterwards it sloped.
Literally,
see, that's all I'm saying. Like, we met our limit. There was nothing really that we could do after that.
I don't agree with that.
I was going to say,
it's come to an end, isn't it? And it's like after the fuse comes to an end, you've got to build back up.
See, the thing is, after we did Relentless, the show that we did afterwards should have been so much better. When we did Seasons Beatings, if you look at the card, you had yourself Swinnbad against Insano because you'd had that massive feud going on. That was the match of the show, in my opinion. That match was amazing.
You had
me versus Dave, which because of the history that we had, you know, should have been amazing, but for some reason on the day it just didn't work. Me and you, we've got great chemistry. Look at us now. The fact that I've done the Dave breaking backdrop of Doom, the fact that he's even in my house says a lot about our friendship, doesn't it? In my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree with that, especially you, Dave.
I don't like you, but
it's just the fact we're doing the round table at your ear, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't actually like me.
I just want to get some attention.
Yeah, you wanted that. And then of course, the main event was Ace defending against Magnum. I don't know about you guys, that's a dream match for me. Ace Magnum is a dream match, and it just.
I'll talk about that in the next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. But
I was going back to chemistry and stuff. You know, Johnny's the easy person to work with. You know, I'll say that to him, and he's a great wrestler. But me and him did not have any chemistry.
Yeah, it's true. Just the chemistry wasn't there.
Not there.
And they put on 2 matches that were both. Dare I say, they were below average. Even though you'd think between them that they'd be able to put an incredible.
That's hard for me to understand now, because I had great chemistry with Magnum, and I had great chemistry with Ace.
And I was exactly the same. I had exactly the same thing. Me and Magnum, we could go out with knowing the finish, put on a good match. Me and Ace, I think between these two, I think they bring out the best in me. And because like we said, our match in May, it was I don't know if you people out there agree with this, but I think our match was great. I think the storyline that we told was fucking brilliant. Yeah. But
me and Jonny,
it just didn't work.
I think Jonny got hurt.
He got hurt in the second match.
No, first match he hit his head on the chair.
Oh yes, he got KO'd, didn't he? So he didn't know where the fuck he was.
And then the second match obviously was just disgraceful because of. I'm going to say severe weather conditions.
Yeah, the weather.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't you? That the matches we had later on in week.
But that was the crazy thing, right? We taped Relentless and Season's Beatings on the same day. It was like the Prove It and Retribution thing. Relentless was awesome. Season's Beatings was a waste of time. It was one of those. How on earth did that happen? But I've always believed that it was down to the crowd. But ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about Season's Beatings, Relentless and Addiction next time out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this one last question. Just because I've got everyone here, and it's a question that I genuinely feel I want to answer. Starting from Dave, working your way around. Ladies and gentlemen, do you miss it? Do you miss UBW? We're filming this in December. We haven't taped since February. It's been 10 months since we did a taping. Do you miss it, Dave?
Yes.
Swinny?
Yep.
Max?
Gaping hole where UBW used to
You?
You have no idea how much I miss it. It's not just the fact that we put on a great wrestling fed, but it's like I say, these two would come and stop here on a Friday night. We'd watch the latest shows, we'd chat, we'd get drunk or whatever. We'd go to a taping on a Saturday, and it was me chilling with my friends and watching great wrestling. I miss it more than you can possibly imagine. Danny?
Yeah, same reasons.
Exactly.
So if we do start up and anyone's watching out there,
Anybody?
come and have fun.
Yeah, come to a taping.
Come and be a crowd.
Multiple Man came to the Redemption taping. He came down from Glasgow. He travelled all the way down to.
He came down to see Extreme Dave take the Dave breaking backdrop of Doom, and I have always regretted that.
And even though it rained all day and we put on shit matches because of the rain, he started a great day. From Dave, from Swinny, from Max, from Danny, and of course I am Mark P, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the UBW Roundtable, Episode 2. You never know, Episode 3 might occur before a year's time. But if nothing else, next December 2011, we will do this all over again. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I apologise that it's been so goddamn long, but we've had a lot to talk about, have we not?
Yes.
I hope more than you can imagine that you've enjoyed this. If you haven't, bollocks, but we have, I'm sure of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, tatty bye. We will see you all again very soon.
Ta-ra, lads and lasses.
Ace Payne.
Ace
Payne.